Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're talking about some news. Wait, which side is it? Here. So if you haven't heard, the This Week at Bungie update just landed a couple of hours ago. And in it, we got some big news. And that news is that Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten are being targeted for some nerfs. So we'll talk about what those nerfs are, and then, you know, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think this is justified? Do you not? And I'll share some of my thoughts on that matter as well. So how are they being nerfed? So here's what we got. Two pinnacle weapons became available for players to earn through competitive. You know all this. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the Destiny dev team to walk us through the planned changes. Yeah, let's just read this. So we wanted to give you a preview of some plans we have to balance Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten in the Season of Opulence. After significant hours of feedback, internal discussion, and playtesting, we've decided to adjust how these hand cannons work. For some players, these weapons can represent a significant investment of time and personal improvement needed to acquire them. When tuning, we attempt to take into account the time commitment that players make to acquire those weapons and balance that against how those weapons affect the different game modes. Magnificent Howl, the unique perk on these weapons, is too effective. To flat out say it. A Magnificent Howl is too effective. It works in a neutral setting and rewards players for getting precision shots, something they would have done naturally. And on those lines, they're saying you're already going to be getting precision shots naturally, just in the neutral game. So it's rewarding something that you already would have been doing. I agree. I also think that regardless of what you think about Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl, and regardless of whether or not you think that they're broken or too powerful, can we at least agree that the defense against them, when people defend Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten by saying, hey, it's a precision weapon, it rewards precision, can we at least agree that that's kind of a bum argument? Because let's be real, those guns have like no recoil, and they have good aim assist, and they have fantastic range. So it's really nothing impressive to get precision hits with those 180s, because they are already super easy to use. They're probably the most user-friendly hand cannons in the game. So I don't know. I never really liked that idea that you're putting the easiest to use hand cannon in the hands of the most skilled players, because those are the ones that are getting their Not Forgottens unless they paid for them. It just seemed kind of silly to put such a low skill weapon in the hands of skilled people. So I don't really like that argument when people are like, well, it rewards precision. No, let's not pretend it's hard to get precision hits with those hand cannons. Anyways, as we continue, as a result, the time to kill of the game shifts to meet this new benchmark, and players feel that the majority of primary weapons in Destiny 2 cannot compete with these pinnacle weapons. I agree. Our current plan is to make Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten the only 150 RPM precision hand cannons. So basically, they plan on nerfing the rate of fire. So there's two things really that are being targeted in the nerf here. One's the rate of fire. Instead of being 180, it's 150. So it's in line with something like Sunshot and Thorn or Spare Rations, right? 150s. They will maintain some aspects of their current behavior while taking on the new firing speed and damage of the 150 RPM hand cannons. So Magnificent Howl will also be adjusted so that it increases only body shot damage, resulting in a 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. Magnificent Howl will still give an advantage due to requiring less precision hits for optimal time to kill. So, two things getting hit. Rate of fire. So they're changing it to be a 150. And the impact is being changed to match. And then Magnificent Howl is only going to proc on body shot damage, not headshot. So you can go head, body. If you go head, you're going to get the same amount of damage on all 3 shots. If you go head, body, you're going to get that buffed damage on that body shot. So you basically get a 3-shot kill with a 150 as opposed to it being a 180. So those are the changes. What do you guys think? preliminary thoughts. I mean, I like that they're being adjusted. It's better than nothing. But I'm not entirely sure how I feel about. I guess I need to really flush out my thoughts. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it plays out. I would say, let's just see how it plays out, and if we don't like it, we can give feedback and they'll change it. But it took 3 seasons to get any changes to these guns to begin with, so I'm not entirely comfortable saying if we don't like it, we can just change it. I'm not sure that it'll be quite that easy. It might be Destiny 3's out by the time they get adjusted again if they're still broken. I don't know. But anyways, my general thoughts here that I'm glad it's getting addressed because, in my opinion, they are by a landslide the most effective weapons, primary weapons in the game. And I don't like the idea of putting the best guns in the hands of the best players. I think that has made Crucible an unfriendly environment for the casual, common gamer. And I really feel bad for those people who feel alienated from the Crucible. You know, I mean, even today, my first 5 lobbies, I backed out of lobbies every time and re-queued. My first 5 lobbies today were Not Forgotten, Dust Rock Blues, Luna, and Warcliffe Coil lobbies, all of them. And I mean, I was like, after 5 matches, I was like, you know what, I would just rather play some Borderlands today. So that's what I did for several hours. I switched mid-match. I was like, I'm done with this crap. I'm gonna go play Borderlands. So I'm glad they're getting adjusted. I think that it's unfriendly for the common gamer, and this is reflected. You know, I'm a decently competent player. I can play against those things. You know, I had to do it to get my Not Forgotten in the first place. I was playing against the meta in the first place. It doesn't bother me. The thing that bothers me is that I get into these lobbies and I've got 2, 3, sometimes a full 6 stack on the other team, all using it. All using Not Forgotten's, Dust Rock Blues, Warcliffe Coils, whatever. The problem is that my 5 blueberries that I get on my team, my 5 teammates that I'm paired with, because I almost exclusively solo queue, they can't hang. And how can we expect them to? And I can't get mad at them. You know, we get to the end of the match, I'm the only one that's positive. Why? Because I have those things, right? I have those things to combat it, but my teammates didn't. You know, I might have a level 15 on my team using a sunshot, and it's not that he might be a fantastic gamer. The fact is he cannot compete with those things if he does not have them. And I feel bad for them, or I feel bad for my teammates that they don't enjoy playing that way, and they'd rather play with something else, and they get stomped. They can't even go positive in those lobbies against those things, and it forces people out of the Crucible. I think the numbers, I know the numbers represent that. They reflect that, and even a lot of the feedback that was given in my video I posted not too long ago on why I basically poll the audience to say why is it that you're not playing PvP anymore? What forced you out of it if you're not playing anymore? And the majority, you'd be surprised, the overwhelming majority of people, they didn't complain about matchmaking. They didn't complain about, you know, the connection-based matchmaking and not being skill-based. They didn't complain about that. They complained about not being able to compete against Not Forgotten, Dust Rock, Warcliffe Coil. And they can't go positive. They can't have fun. And finding a match where you don't have to go against those things is so hard. It's so hard to find those matches that they just decided they would rather not play at all. That was the overwhelming majority of responses. So I think that this is needed, and I think all the people that would be upset about this are probably the people who use these things the most. And I'm not criticizing them, but I would just encourage you to think, what is best for the community? What's best for the player base? If you want faster connection times to your lobby, you don't want to sit in a queue for forever. This goes for comp too. If you don't want to sit in queues for forever, you need a big player base. Well, I'm going to be real with you. 6 stacking and constantly using Not Forgottens and things like that against players that can't hang against that stuff, that kills your player base. That kills your queue times. It kills your lobbies. It kills the game. And it's not necessarily your job to balance the game, and I'm not saying that it is, but I just want to put that in perspective. I know a lot of players have said, you know, I'm out. Because I can't compete against that, I'm out. And if y'all are going to be using that stuff, then Crucible is no place for me, the common casual gamer. And so people complain that we have all these sweaty lobbies these days. Well, yeah, we kind of did that, didn't we? Didn't we do that, kind of? We sort of contributed to that. It's Bungie's job to balance the game, yeah, but we are a vital part of it, and we do have a direct impact on the player base. So anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think. I'm interested in reading those comments. Yeah, well, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope to catch you in the Crucible. Bye-bye.